Okay, let's dive deep. Today, we're really digging into something potentially huge. We're talking about Meta Platforms reportedly eyeing up a massive $14.3 billion investment.
Yeah, for a 49% chunk of Scale AI. That figure, it just grabs you, doesn't it?
It really does. Why that company? Why that much? It feels significant.
Absolutely.
So we've looked at a bunch of analysis of business economics, tech strategy, potential regulatory stuff to try and get our heads around it. Like, what makes Scale AI so vital? Why would Meta put down that kind of money?
And what does it signal for the whole AI race and the tech giant competition?
Exactly. Our mission today, try to find the real story behind that huge number.
Okay, so to really get it, you first have to think about the bigger picture for companies like Meta. It's not just simple growth they're after, it's scale.
Scale versus growth. Okay, unpack that for us. What's the difference there?
Well, growth is kind of linear, right? You pour in more resources, you get proportionally more results back, like hire more sales folks, sell more widgets. The scale is different. It's exponential. Your revenue shoots up way faster than your costs. You might add some resources, but the return is just massively bigger.
Wow.
And digital stuff is perfect for this. Think software. Once you've built it, the cost to distribute one more copy, the marginal cost, is practically zero.
Right, negligible.
So they can spread those huge initial development costs over potentially billions of users. That drives the average cost per user way down. Huge economies of scale. These aren't new ideas, really. Think Adam Smith, Alfred Marshall, basic economics, but supercharged in digital.
And for platforms like Meta's, this hooks into network effects, doesn't it? More users make it more valuable.
Exactly. More people connect, share, post. That's the direct network effect. The platform itself gets stickier, more useful. Then that huge audience pulls in businesses, developers, they build ads, apps, services on top. That's the indirect network effect.
Which makes the platform even more valuable.
Drawing in more users. It's this powerful flywheel. That's how you get massive scale.
Okay, so scale is the big prize. How does Scale AI, this specific company, fit into Meta's push for, well, AI scale?
See, Scale AI hits the absolute core bottleneck in building really powerful AI systems. The data.
The data itself.
Yep. AI models, especially the big ones, they need just tons of high-quality labeled data to learn properly. Scale AI provides what's called the ground truth. They take all that messy, raw data, images, text, whatever, and turn it into structured, annotated stuff the AI can actually understand and train on.
So it's like prepping the AI's food.
Kind of, yeah. You know the saying, garbage in, garbage out? Scale AI is basically the quality control ensuring it's not garbage going in.
So they're more than just data labelers clicking boxes on images.
Oh, much more now. They started there, maybe, but they've built out this whole data engine platform. It's pretty sophisticated. They use a mix, this sort of human-in-the-loop approach. They've got a huge global workforce, remote tasks, doing detailed annotation, but they also use AI tools to help manage and improve that process. And they offer more advanced services too, like data curation, synthetic data generation, and importantly, RLHF.
RLHF. Okay, what's that?
Sounds complex.
Reinforcement learning from human feedback. Think of it as fine-tuning the AI, getting humans to rate the AI's outputs, basically teaching it nuance, safety, what helpful actually looks like.
Okay. So crucial for making these big language models behave properly.
Absolutely critical,
Okay.
especially for safety and alignment. And Scale AI is a major provider of this. You look at their client list, it's like a who's who of AI. Almost everyone uses them for something in their data pipeline.
Which circles us back to that $14.3 billion number for just under half the company. Why is Scale AI worth that specific investment to Meta?
Well, it plugs directly into Meta's stated ambition, building artificial general intelligence, or AGI, or at least, superintelligence.
Right. Zuckerberg talks about that openly. And if you want to build that kind of powerful AI, high-quality data isn't just helpful, it's the absolute essential fuel. This deal looks like a classic vertical integration play.
Vertical integration.
Yes.
Like controlling your supply chain.
Exactly. Think Apple controlling the hardware design and the software. Meta seems to want similar control over a key input for their future, the AI data layer.
So creating a kind of data moat. Is that the idea?
That's a great way to put it. Meta already has this unbelievable quantity of unique data from Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp.
Right, data nobody else has.
And Scale AI has the quality engine, the tech, and the process to refine and structure data at well, Scale. You combine Meta's massive proprietary data set with Scale AI's high-end annotation capabilities.
And you get an advantage that's really hard for competitors to match.
Precisely. They wouldn't have Meta's raw data source, and they wouldn't have the same level of influence or potentially priority access to Scale AI's crucial services. It's also partly about influence, maybe even a bit like an acqui-hire, but for strategic direction.
Okay, so if Meta gets this significant influence, potentially control, how does that ripple outwards? How does it change the competitive landscape for Google, Microsoft, Amazon, everyone else?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting and potentially tricky. It brings up what analysts call foreclosure concerns.
Foreclosure, like locking others out.
Potentially, yeah. If Meta has a huge stake and, say, board seats, could they influence Scale AI to prioritize Meta's projects? Or maybe make access harder or more expensive for rivals who also depend heavily on Scale AI?
That could really shake things up.
It definitely puts pressure on everyone else. It accelerates this race we're already seeing towards full vertical integration in AI.
You mean controlling everything from the chips up to the models?
Yeah. Google's doing it with TPUs in their models, Amazon with Trainium Inferentia chips and Bedrock, Microsoft with Azure and OpenAI. This move by Meta focuses on securing that critical data layer. It forces competitors to think harder about their data pipelines. Do they need to build more in-house capability, acquire someone else, become less reliant on a supplier now closely linked to Meta?
And you have to assume regulators would be looking very closely at this too.
Oh, absolutely. Even though it's only 49%, regulators globally are wary of anything that looks like it could create monopoly choke points in critical tech infrastructure like AI. They might see this as a kind of pseudo-acquisition of a key ecosystem player.
Okay, let's try and pull this together for you listening. This reported $14.3 billion investment. It's clearly way more than just Meta buying data labeling services.
It's a huge, high-stakes bet on gaining deep influence, maybe even eventual control over a really critical piece of the entire AI puzzle, the infrastructure that ensures data quality.
It suggests the future of AI competition might be less about who has the single best algorithm,
and more about who controls the entire end-to-end pipeline, from the raw data through the processing and labeling, right up to the models and applications.
So here's something to think about. As these tech giants race to build these vertically integrated AI empires, locking down every part of the stack, is that good or bad?
Yeah, will this intense competition inside these walled gardens actually speed up AI progress overall?
Or could it end up creating barriers, stifling innovation and competition from startups or researchers outside those walls?
And ultimately, what does that concentration of power mean for you, for all of us, as AI becomes more and more integrated into our daily lives?